Hello friends, here I am going to present or explain the beautiful poem Ozymandias. The poem Ozymandias is written by a well-known romantic poet P.B. Shelley. Here I mention the whole poem. This poem contains 14 lines. It is a 14 lines poem. 14 lines poem called sonnet. Sonnet is one form of the poem. It is a Petrarchan sonnet. Petrarchan sonnets is divided into two stanza. First stanza of 8 lines and second stanza of 6 lines. 8 line stanza called octave and 6 lines stanza called sestet. This poem is in sonnet form. Okay. Now here the picture of Ozymandias. The statue of Ozymandias is totally ruined, which is stand in desert land. Here you can get idea how this statue is broken and where it was situated. Now whenever we explain the poem, you can get idea what the poet want to say here through this picture. So Ozymandias, now see this title Ozymandias. It is a Greek name. I explain in the poem. Before going to poem, I would like to talk about poet P.B. Shelley, who was born 1792 and died 1822. He is a well-known romantic poet of the latter phase of romantic school of poetry. Especially in his poetry, Shelley deals optimistic and pessimistic aspect of human life and nature. He writes many famous poems like Ode to the West Wind, Queen Mab, Adonais, To a Skylark, The Cloud, and many other famous poems where he speaks about hope, frustration, and platonic love. The poem Ozymandias, I told you, it is in sonnet form. There are 14 lines poem. In this poem, the poet shows transitory nature of human life. That is the main idea, central idea of the poem. The title Ozymandias. Ozymandias, here it is an alternate name of the ancient Egyptian king Ramses II. Ozymandias was a Greek name. So, the king Ozymandias damaged statue metaphorically says that now through this poem and through this statue, the poet want to give the message. Now metaphorically says the poet, one should not boast over the power and wealth because everything is in human life and nature is subject to decay. The poet wants to say that everything should be finished. Now the message of the poem is that nothing remains behind. Nothing remained behind. That is the theme. Nothingness is the main theme which is underlined in the poem. Let us see the poem line by line. First of all, here I take the two lines of the poem. Ozymandias' poem, which was first published in 1880, it is written in sonnet form. The tone of the poem is ironic. Language is a figurative. Apparently, here we see it is the description of the king Ozymandias. But what is the inner or hidden meaning of the poem? Here poet give the different message through the poem, that never boast over the power and wealth, because human life is transitory, nothing left behind it. That type of message is hidden in the poem. So in the first line here the poets, I means poet is the speaker here, and what the speaker? The speaker made to traveler. Here the poet writes, I met a traveler from antique land who said, two vast and trunkless lakes of stone. Here are the some difficult words in yellow chart, yellow box. Vast means huge and giant, antique means ancient, and trunkless means torso, means which without upper part of the body. The poet says that I made means speaker made to the traveler who came from the antique land. This land may be Egypt. And he said, the traveler said, when he came from this antique land, he came across two vast trunkless lakes of stone. He saw one of the statue, which is a broken ruined statue he found there. Now these vast two lakes, these are trunkless lakes of a stone. Now this statue, the statue is without upper part of body. The traveler described the situation of statue. Now in those lines, see line number 3, stand in the desert, near them on the sand. Poet says that this statue stand in the desert. The statue is in the desert land, and near them means near these lakes, means trunkless lakes. On the sand, half sunk a shattered visage. Visage means face. The statue's face was half sunk into the sand. It was shattered. It was broken. Means here the poet want to say that or describe the ruined statue, whose frown and wrinkled lip and sneer of cold command. Whose frown? Frown means anger, and wrinkled lip and sneer of cold command. This thing suggested the facial expression of the statue, like angry, lips are wrinkled, and nature of commanding is suggested here. Tell that its sculpture well passions read. Now the traveler said that what he saw in the facial expression of the statue, he saw frown, wrinkled lip, sneer of cold command. But he also said tell that its sculpture, means all these facial expression represented by the sculpture, who is an great artist, he exactly carve all the facial expression on the stone, and that is why he says that well passioned is, means we can read, traveler can read all this facial expression which is very exactly carved by the sculpture. So he admired the sculpture's art. Everything should be finished, but which yet survive. What the survive is here? The sculpture art is survive only there. Stamp on this lifeless thing. He beautifully carve all those things in lifeless thing, that is the stone. He carve all those things in stone. The hand that mocked them, means through his hand he portrayed all the facial expression very beautifully. How the king looked like. Many years passed away, even statue is ruined, but whatever the sculpture is going to portray, it is always remain permanently. And that heart that fade. Now here the poet, traveler admire the skill of sculpture. Here poet wants to say that nothing left behind, but art is permanent. Artist art remain permanent. That is the main thing is here. So in this 6 line the poet explain the situation of statue as well as the skill of sculpture which is represent in lifeless thing. So here the facial expression of the statue. Now the frown is here, wrinkled lips, as well as he has a commanding nature. Even though the statue is ruined, but the facial expression still remain. That thing is survived. Means art is always survived. Here the explanation of these 8 lines which called octave. What the next stanza, in those 6 lines the poet continue, and on the pedestal. Pedestal, this place where the statue is situated, where the statue is built, it's called plinth. At the foot of the statue, plinth, and here is the inscription. Now what the traveler says, and on the pedestal, means at the foot of the statue there is a inscription, and in inscription these words appear. What the words are appeared here? My name is Ozymandias. Now the inscription revealed that who was this, whose statue was this. Now in inscription the words, my name is Ozymandias, king of kings. Now here is the thing is going to return, that my name is Ozymandias. Ozymandias wants to build his statue, and under this statue he made an inscription, and there were the mention his name. My name is Ozymandias. He was a king of kings. Means it shows his pride. He says, I am the king of the king. Look on my work. Means he said, see my empire. My empire spread everywhere. Ya mighty. Means he says that I am a mighty prince, and despair. in these 3 lines introduce us the Ozymandias' nature, how he was very proudy as well as he boasts over his power and wealth, and he said, I am the king of kings, and look my empire, how mighty I am. But in the last 3 lines the poet said, nothing beside remain. Even though he was powerful king, but nothing beside remain. But in the course of time, everything should be finished, round and decay. His statue is now grounded into the sand, and statue is decay. Now in the course of time, everything is ruined. Of that colossal right, when the huge wreck is there and boundless and bare. Now it is a stand alone in the bare land, that is the desert land. It is alone, and the level sand stretch far away, and no one can see the empire of this Ozymandias, because in the course of time nothing remained behind. So in this way the poem give the message that human life is transitory. So don't be boast over the power and wealth, because everything in human life and nature is subject to decay. So that is the theme of the poem. I think you understand, and please remember, only personality marks, means here our qualities are always remain permanent, because human body is ruined in the course of time. So it is a very beautiful poem, how the transitory of human life, but art is permanent. That's thing the poet wants to say here. Thank you very much.